Innovator is a strong word, and I don't expect everybody to be radically creative, but I do expect everybody to be willing to try new things and be willing to learn and be open to new ways of doing things.
Well, we challenge our staff always to think of better ways to do things. And sometimes it may be as simple as making the right call to the right person at the right time. But we want to give people autonomy to be great. At the same time, we're not going to compromise our project or compromise the end results of what we're doing for our clients.
Our world is changing really fast, and we all know that. And the only way to keep up is to be constantly kind of testing your existing ideals and systems and questioning whether or not there's a better way to do things.
So we're looking for those opportunities. We're looking for people who like to think about how they can do their jobs better and be more efficient.
Yeah, you want to identify people who share this core value, for one, and for two, are sincerely open to new ways of doing things and learning before they prejudge, like, well, that's not how I do it, or that's not how I've done it. I always ask them, new people in particular, to, before we go in and change a bunch of stuff, make sure you really understand why we do what we do, because usually there's a good reason for the way things are.
For new people that join our team, we just want you to understand that your perspective is important. We know that you're still learning. We still know that you'll grow and become an increasing valuable part of the team, but give yourself permission to ask the questions and to be inquisitive.
I tell people when I hire them, you're gonna have like a 6-month window to look at everything with fresh eyes, and you can take all the experiences, all the good ones and bad ones that you've had before in other jobs or at other companies, and hopefully bring them to us and help make us better. And then after 6 months, it gets harder, right? You fall into the kind of classic, well, this is just how we do things. And new people are the best place, oftentimes, to kind of bring new ideas to a company.
If we can incorporate the idea of 1% improvement to our daily activities over the course of a year, that might mean 10 or 15 or 20% improvement in an area.
Think about continuous improvement and the idea of getting 1% better every day or every activity that we do. If we could just get 1% better, how dramatic of a change that would make.
And those are both personal and company goals in terms of improving processes, improving knowledge, improving our methods, and improving our communication, which is a big thing.
The story a while back about the British cycling team that went from kind of being non-existent on the world circuit to, within a matter of 10 years, by focusing on every little component of their sport, to kind of becoming the dominant player in the Olympics and the Tour de France for 10 years, which is just kind of an amazing testament to what can be accomplished by committing to this idea of 1% improvement.
If you're new and you're starting here, we want to encourage you to be open to question the way things are done. We don't want to forget your past history and not bring that new perspective in and talk about things and question them. And between your perspective and our perspective, we can come up with increasingly better ways to do things.
And that's why we have meetings that involve sales and production. That's why we include each other in that innovation process, and we allow each other to review each other's processes and give each other feedback and suggestions for what's working for them and what's not, and hopefully at the end of the day we come up with the best solution for everybody.
Everything we have, I think all these values do play off each other, and they weave together in terms of the results. So as we keep these things front and center, I think they're really going to be important to establishing the fabric of our company in terms of our growth, our client experience, and our profitability.
We've got a client who's had an issue with an arc fault breaker on a circuit. So there's a microwave on this circuit, and every time we run the microwave, it pops a circuit. We had the electrician out, swapped out the breaker, and it worked for a month, and now it's broken again. And we sent the client back to the vendor, the appliance vendor, to get the microwave warranted, but in the back of our minds, we're just kind of going like, this is probably an uncertain outcome at best, right? Project manager stepped in. Again, this is a project that's been done and for months, and stepped in and decided he was going to call somebody we haven't worked with yet, but someone who works on this type of appliance and warranty situations, and said, we're having this problem, what can we do? And after digging and pressing and prodding and getting through the secretary and getting to somebody who would actually give them an answer, they said, it's actually, we're not really supposed to say this, but here's the answer to your question. And it was like, oh, okay. We may have kind of expected that answer, but we couldn't get it from the electrician. We haven't been able to get it from the appliance vendor. It's just been really frustrating, and that's a hard thing to kind of deal with when you're not able to give a good answer to a client who's looking for one. And I credit the project manager for stepping up and doing that when he didn't have to. So that's an example of gotta be a better way.